I keep just doing take after take and messing it up, and I need to just do it and get it done and just be me. Okay, let's get it. So ever since I've turned 16 years old, I've pretty much been a busy person. I've constantly tried to balance school and work and relationships and the gym and much more. And I would say that as I was younger getting into all this stuff, I would say that I was pretty productive, but I would say that I wasn't very efficient with how I was going through my day-to-day life. And as I've matured, I've kind of structured my life to be more efficient. And now I practice something that I like to call being dangerously efficient. And so what exactly does that mean? It means that you structure every single moment that you have given to you throughout the day. When you get out of bed in the morning, you already know what you're doing from the time that your eyes open till the next time that your eyes close. So that intro that I showed you guys in the beginning, I do that every single day whenever I get home from working my full-time job. I come straight home and I go straight into the gym, no matter how I'm feeling, you know, regardless of what the conditions of my day are. And I check my notes. And I've constructed routines that I stick to religiously, and I've been maintaining the schedule for like over 6 months now. So it's definitely sustainable. You just have to figure out what to do. And that's what today's video is going to be about. And real quick before I jump into it, I know the intro's kind of taken a while, and a lot of people probably would have clicked off by now because it wasn't, you know, hyperactive for the first 30 seconds. But this video is not for them. This is for people that actually want to learn from my mistakes. And so, maybe my mistakes, but also for me. So real quick, a little background about me. My name is Tanner. Obviously, that's the name of this channel. And I'm just a regular guy like everybody else. I'm a huge nerd, but recently as I've gotten older, I've been starting to set a lot of goals for myself, and I have a lot of ambitions that I want to make come true as I'm getting older here. And I'm 21 years old, by the way. And I realize that, you know, no one's going to come save me, that I have to do the work. And so basically I'm doing these videos almost as like a guide to my younger self. Like if he were to be sitting in front of me right now, like this is what I would be saying to him. So anyways, enough with that rambling. I'm going to actually get into it now. So let's do that. So being dangerously efficient. It is something that everybody can do, but it doesn't happen overnight. And in fact, I'm still learning. And I think part of this is realizing that becoming efficient, it's like a liquid state. It's fluid, you know, it's constantly changing. You have to constantly change things. And the way that I did this is that I, you know, took a step back and assessed my life, and I made a bunch of changes. And now I have a much more structured daily routine that I stick to every single day. Like I said, regardless of how I'm feeling that day. You know, if I feel like shit, I'm still going to get up and do the things that I need to do, or I'm still going to work out after work. But going back to that, how it's kind of like a liquid state, I've been doing the gym after work for 6 months, and I've never really been a morning workout person, but I realized that now with trying to do this whole content thing, that trying to shove the gym and my content stuff after work is just not sustainable in the long run. And so I'm, you know, changing the flow of my routine, and I'm moving gym to the morning. And so that's going to free up time for me in the evening, and it's going to suck in the beginning, but it's going to, in the long run, hopefully benefit me. So yeah, I can give you examples, and I can tell you what being, you know, dangerously efficient is, but how can you implement it into your life, right? That's probably why you clicked on the video. And so the way that you can do this is just take a step back from your life and really, you know, cut out all the distractions, the music, the TikToks, all that stuff, and think of your whys. Why do you want to be efficient? Do you have certain goals? Are they relationship goals? Are they financial goals? Are they fitness goals? You know, these are going to be your main motivators, and, you know, the blueprint that you can then reverse engineer to start building routines that make you more efficient as a person. And after you do that, you need to, again, take a step back, or while you're already taking that step back, and think about the things that you do each and every day. Like, really think about everything that you do, because it's really easy to get caught up in the motions and just live the same day over and over again and not even realize it. Because I'm so guilty of that. I still do that sometimes with certain things. But you just need to look and assess what things help you and what things harm you. And if something harms you, then you should either eliminate it or tweak it and make it more effective. And that would be like the gym example that I gave earlier. Or another good example is like the whole idea of meal prepping, you know. Rather than trying to spend an hour on dinner each night, you could just make dinner for the next 3, 4, 5 days, and it might take you an hour and a half one night, but then you gained back like, 4 hours of total cooking time that you can then put into other things. And so the cool thing about like optimizing your efficiency is like you can line up tasks. So like whenever I get home from work, as soon as I walk in the door, after I take my shoes off and stuff, I unpack my lunchbox and then I pack it for the next day. And then I go straight into the gym. And you can stack, these tasks like one after another, and you're just going to build momentum and gain motivation. And then as you gain that motivation, and it's almost like a reward for yourself, like you're going to ride that high of completing those tasks. And the more that you do, it's going to become second nature. And then that motivation is going to switch over to discipline. And that's when the real gains in your life start to kick in, is whenever you start mastering discipline, or maybe practicing discipline. And so, kind of getting towards the end of the video here, understanding that you have 24 hours in a day, and that every single other person that has ever existed, period, also has 24 hours a day. You really can take a look at it and break it down and realize that, yeah, maybe you work full time. I work full time. I work 8+ hours a day, and I'm usually commuting like 2 hours in total, and that's unpaid. So I'm just losing those 2 hours, essentially losing. And you can still have hours to conquer outside of that. So understanding that you have the same time as everybody else, that's what's going to make you dangerously efficient. So go get out there and start experimenting, start trying different things. Like I said, this isn't going to happen overnight. This took me years to get to the level of efficient that I am now. And I still have years to go. I'm not a master at this by any means. I'm still learning it. And the most important thing is that you fabricate these routines and you make them bearable for yourself, and you make them sustainable. Don't set like super unrealistic standards for yourself. That's just going to put you right back at square one. All right. So that's going to do it for this video. I'm sure like I said, a lot of people are probably going by now, but if you made it to the end, I really, really appreciate it. My name again is Tanner. This is the 3rd video on my channel, and if you've watched my other videos, which I don't recommend because they're terrible, this one is a lot different from them. And this style right here that I'm going for is what I want this channel to become. And like I said, I'm kind of structuring these as if like I was just talking to my younger self, as if you were my younger self. I just want to like vomit my mistakes, my information to you, my value, and hope that, I can provide value for you and maybe save you some time and maybe give you a new perspective on something that you haven't done before. And so, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So I'll be uploading once a week, and I'll see you next week. See ya.